laid out in front of us here, we have the hydraulic cover for this T474. Now we have 3 components. This is kind of our frame piece. This is what mounts on the machine, and then our other plates bolt onto this. And then we have our 2 other plates that bolt on. We've got our larger side piece that bolts on the side of the machine here. And then we've got our smaller front piece that bolts on the front of the machine over here. So the first step is going to be to install this bottom frame piece with these 2 bolts. Now, this tractor has a third function on it, which means it has some kind of bracket that mounts in these 2 holes down here. So we're going to be using the included hardware that comes with that bracket. If you do not have a third function, there will be hardware in the kit for you. This slides up from the bottom. And these bolts thread into the loader mount. So once those are threaded in, you'll see that this bracket is in place, but it kind of hangs down right here. Before we tighten it, we'll just want to make sure that we lift it up into position where we like it, and then we can tighten down those 2 back bolts. Okay, now that this is installed, all we have to do is install our front cover and our side cover. This profile on the side of this cover aligns with the profile of the loader and framing, I guess you would call it. The nuts are welded on the inside of this piece, so you don't need to worry about trying to get in here with a wrench. And you're going to want to make sure that you tuck this behind that loader framing part. Our cover is now fully installed. This machine does have the third function on it, so you do have these hoses out here coming up above this plate. Those hoses are kind of routed underneath this valve, and the third function valve is on the bottom. That's the one we're really trying to protect because it hangs down so low and they're really not cheap. So the bottom is totally covered, and we have this coverage here on the front as well as some protection up here on the side. We've got some protection that wraps around the back side to about right here. Before we start running into any kind of interference issue with valves. And there's even some protection against things going from the back side of the valve or the inside of the machine of the valve coming back this way. Now this will fit with and without a cab, and it will also fit with and without our backhoe and our skid plate kit. You will need to remove the cover if you do need to remove your loader. Just because you're not going to be able to get all of these fittings out with the cover in place. But you could leave the bottom portion of this on and just remove our side panel and our front panel.